And good morning from Homestead here in South Africa from Air Entertainment. Welcome to part 2 of my 7 Days to Die Skyrim Homestead project. Right, now last time I played I think it was on day 208. It is now 233. So it's basically taken 25 days to get to this point. And when we get to the house, I'll explain to you exactly why it took so long. In real time it only took me 2 evenings. It would have been 1, but unfortunately something went wrong, which I will show you now. So we're going to start today from my little mine camp near the homestead. I've waited until it was morning so that I could actually show you the house nicely. Now, one of the big differences that you might notice from the last video is that I have a lot more trees. You can see this whole avenue is lined with trees, and so is the field next to the house. And that's not just because I wanted to make it look pretty. I love trees, but I needed a lot of wood for what I was doing for the main hall. So I kept just putting trees down. Every time you chop a tree down in 7 Days to Die, you get given 2 seeds for each tree. So you chop one down, you can plant 2. Then you just wait a few days for it to grow up. You chop those 2 down and you can plant 4, and so forth and so on. And that's why I have this beautiful field. So here we are again at the homestead. Zombies are off. I've put in the airdrops for a longer period because last time I spoke on my video you couldn't hear me with the plane flying overhead, I realized. Here's the bike that in the part 1.5 got so damaged, and I've repaired it completely. 100% battery, 100% fuel, 100% health. So my bike is good to go. So let's get started. Let's start on the outside of the homestead. In part 1 we did level 1, which is that level there. Part 2 I've built the second level and the roof. Okay, that's coming along really nicely now. If you saw before the video started, I would have placed some pictures of the outside just so that you can compare. And once again, just a reminder, because this is going to become important when we go inside, is that I used the sections as indicated on the actual Skyrim home to base how the inside was going to look. So the back of the house has 3 sections. The sections are separated by these wooden pillars, wooden logs. And then on the side we have 6 sections. And then you have these 2 longer sections, right? The short sections are made of 5 pieces and the long sections are made of 7. Now, on the Skyrim house, if you just built the main hall without the attachments, the east and the west attachments, these would be the glass sections. And the reason I made them longer is because later when I build on these sections, they're going to become quite important. So this is the outside of the main hall without the attachments so far. And I'm actually glad that it's that long, because I kind of have a surprise coming in part 3 when I do either the east or west building, but I won't spoil that for you now. I must just say I'm rather excited by the idea that I have. So this was part 1, the small house, or shall we say the entrance, because you build the small house first, but once you build on the main hall and everything, you can actually change your small house into an entrance foyer. So this is the entrance foyer. These wooden braces over here are not just there once again for beauty, they actually serve a function. They are holding up the roof. As I mentioned before, in Minecraft you can just build your roof and it won't matter. In 7 Days to Die, however, if you build a certain length or width from your main support, so there's your main support, right? So if you build 4 or 5 blocks this way without further support, now that level would have the support of the house. This level would have no support. So you'd get this far, not only would this whole section fall down, but the section underneath it as well. I don't know how that works, but if something falls, if I had to drop a block from there onto this floor, if it's not supported properly, the whole floor would collapse. And I'm mentioning this because this is going to be essential for the main hall. Now, building the entrance house had no complications. Once I learned how to use these supports without any Google support, just trial and error, it was quite easy. So now, if we go into the main hall, in part 1.5, when I showed you zombies, I had done the first level, right? This whole ceiling was closed, there was no second level. There was nothing, there was only one log here and one log here to support that ceiling. And that was basically what I had done in the first. I just want to turn on my fireplace for graphic effect. And my character is getting too warm because he has a jacket on. So we'll just take it off. If you want to have a look, here you can see my temperature feels like once it hits 90 it starts overheating and you start getting level 1, level 2, level 3 heat stroke. I think if you go under 45 then you start getting level 1, level 2, level 3 hypothermia. Anyway, and then I had done the cellar's entrance, which we're going to go back into the cellar because I need to show you something there too. So I had done all these brace supports on the side here because I discovered that if you have these brace supports, without the brace supports you can place these blocks up to 3 levels before things start falling. I discovered if you have these brace supports you can actually build further before things fall down. Now that brace support basically covers half this span and that brace support covers the other half this way, and so forth and so on. And that's why I needed that one tree stump here, because that only covered it so far. The distance running lengthwise to this door was too far, so I needed the 2 wooden logs. Right. So that is construction management 101, 7 Days to Die. Now coming to the second level, and this was the hard part, and this is the part that had me very frustrated and extended my building into 2 evenings. I had built the walls of the second level, which went without fail, without any problems, obviously. Then I had broken this part out to start building this balustrade. Now, this is where my sections come into play, because in some of the pictures, or if you actually go into Skyrim, you'll see that the stairs are actually the whole length of the second section, but because my length is longer, it wouldn't cover the whole length, which is fine. I don't worry about that. Then this whole first section is your landing pad, and if you've played Skyrim, this is where your mannequin would stand, and your display case, and etc, etc. And then this width would be that one section from the back, that width would be that section, and then your middle section would be this balustrade here. Your deer head would go there, and your furnace at the bottom there, and your dining table right here. So then this would be your third section, and then this is the area, the 1 bedroom area. If you don't build a bedroom, then this is the bedroom area you would stay in. This is the back area where you have another display case and a book rack, and then you'll exit to another room at the back, the south wing, and then your house calls, house calls, or children's sleeping area if you don't have a bedroom. Now, if you remember part 1 and part 1.5, I just built the skeleton. I never went into such elaborate, let me just get my sniper's light on, elaborate divisions. Now this is where things went wrong. I wasn't going to build this, or I was just going to do the roof. Now I built the roof up to about level 4, I would think. Before this, it fell down by 3 levels, totally collapsed, hit my floor, broke the tree that was standing here protecting it, and went down basically another level. I had to fix, this part was fine, the balustrade stood. I had to repair the floor for quite a vast area here. And that happened twice because I was testing why it did that. Because even though I had these supports, apparently these supports can only go up so high before they collapse. Right. So it took me a bit of testing before I realized, but if my first floor had the support pointing that way for lateral support, I would obviously need the same thing. Hence this ribbed section. So once I got up to that level where it collapsed, and I built it there, I didn't do it for that side because I was trying to test. It still fell down when I got to a certain length that way. And then I discovered that I cannot go without building the inside divisions, which is actually further support to the roof. And it couldn't be done just on this level because I discovered that once this concrete got to a certain height, the floor couldn't support it and it collapsed. So it became a whole, okay, this is not Minecraft. I actually have to use the 3 years construction management degree studies that I did in 7 Days to Die. And I would just like to applaud the creators, fun pimps, of this game that they actually went that far. So then I decided, alright, well then I can start building my fireplace, which is in this section of the house. You'll see in Skyrim, it's actually pulled back one section from where this landing ends, which is perfect, which is exactly where I needed it for the support. I built that lateral support to just protect this back room. Now this back room is where the anvil and the storage area and all the beautiful, now this is a bit big. It is exactly 2 sections long, so that's fine. But obviously because I built sections longer than Skyrim, my proportions are right in 7 days, but it's a bit, you know, it's a bit big for placing everything that I'm going to need to place in here. And I don't care. It's a nice area. Now, these logs are obviously not in Skyrim, it's just an open area. And I didn't really need them for support, but hey, let's put extra support. Extra support will never hurt anyone, unless they fall on your head. So once I had that support, I then built this wall. I then built, as I was building up the roof, I would build up another layer to keep supporting the roof to make sure that it didn't fall in. Now this is something I didn't even notice in Skyrim, but in Skyrim there's this concrete stone wall, and even though I took pictures of it as a reference, I didn't really click what it was for. I thought, oh, it just looks pretty. And this brace and that brace is actually in Skyrim too, which is quite cool. But I discovered while building that that is actually the furnace for the fireplace. So only by building did I click, oh, so that's what that actually is. Now, I could have left that open like I did there, like I think it is in Skyrim, but I liked the extra support. And I could have closed this, but it actually looks nice seeing the skeleton of the roof, like you do in Skyrim. So I left that open. That was just, how shall I put it, creators, well, I'm not sure what the word is now, prerogative. So, but then, as I went up, I just kept securing more and more braces. I made sure that it was not going to fall. And you know, on the third try, on the second evening, once I had gotten those braces in every level, it went up without a problem, without fail. Now, I broke my leg a few times in this game, only because, as in Minecraft, you can do this. Let me see if I can show you quickly, just here. You can step to a point like that, where you can actually see the edge of the block you're standing on, right? Then you place your thing, because when you're going on a roof lengthwise like this, there's no chance to just walk sideways and keep placing and keep placing. I actually had to stand on each roof piece, and not for the roof itself. The roof tiles was fine. I could run along and place. But these beams is actually what I'm talking about, because you can't just stand and look at a beam and place it on another beam. You actually had to face the edge of the roof and place it against the roof itself. And for that, I had to stand like so and face the edge of the thing and place the beam, go down and do that, and so forth and so on. Once I had this mid wall, it was actually easier with the brace. I would then place the roof tiles halfway, because I realized if I go too far that way, even with the brace, it would fall. And then I would come from this side and meet them halfway, and then I did it from this side halfway and that side halfway. So having this division in the end actually helped me with how I was going to place the roof tiles without it falling down. It's nice to find houses in Skyrim already built, but doing it yourself takes a little bit of thinking, a little bit of... You can see I've got some snowflakes falling down because my roof shingles aren't that protective against the weather elements, but that's fine. So yeah, you can't just build in this game. You have to strategically think out and figure out what is the best way. You know what, even after doing it that way, these ribs facing in, oh, they just look fantastic. I love how it looks. It's like perfect. So yes, this is the main hall without the decorations, without the doors leading to the east, south and west wings. I can take you now to the cellar, because I want to show you. That will just keep burning until this wood runs out. You can see there's 37 minutes left of burn. Let's just turn it off because I'm pretty much at the end of this video. Okay, let me just take you into the cellar as a last mention. Don't get dizzy, guys. Sometimes I do. Right, this is the cellar. Now the first thing I want to show you about the cellar is this. Where did that come from, you might ask? That was not there in 1 and 1.5. This is when that concrete thing collapsed. The one wooden tree collapsed, and everything that collapsed with it fell. This is what it looks like when something collapses. You just do this, and you get rid of the wooden timber that had fallen down. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time doing that now. I just wanted to show you. Now, the other difference is, if you recall, I had 2 rows of support for this floor. Which was fine at the time. I got these wooden braces stretching to help me, but I added a 3rd one right here. Now this is where that tree kept falling through the log, and where my furnace and my fireplace and the concrete is. Now I think the concrete was too heavy for the floor, and that's why it kept falling. So I'll have to see when I start placing decorations and tables. I don't think it will be much of an issue if I have to place more support. I don't think I will. It does kind of put a damper on how I'm going to build the cellar like Skyrim or like I want, because now I've got this section. But I mean, I can close this whole wall off, make it a nice division here. I still got my sections to play with, so it's not too much of a train smash. We can go back up this way. I don't know how he runs up so quickly, and I usually get through here without a problem lately. I don't know what's going on, but today he doesn't want to get into the house, which is so weird. Usually I get up here and that's how you hurt yourself. That's how I've sprained my leg a few times. There we go. Apparently there's a certain way you've got to get in there. Don't ask me what it is. I am so tired of trying to figure out why some days some things work another way and other times other things work another way. Now you might have remembered I said in part 1.5 that when I get to 2.5 I'm going to show you when the blood moon rises how mad the zombies are. Now the next blood moon, I use my mathematical skills, it will be 238, day 238. So I'll be playing for a few days in game time, a few hours in real time, to get to blood moon night, and then video 2.5 will be on that. Thank you for watching. I haven't decided which wing I'm going to start on for video 3, part 3 of this gameplay, but I'll be sure to surprise you with my new idea in that video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.